Hi, my name is Chris, representing CGC Home Inspection Services. Bring certainty to your sanctuary. This is presented for GEB 4970 Senior Management Project with Dr. Bailey on November the 26th of 2023. Mission statement. Our mission is to provide a peace of mind for home buyers in the Port St. Lucie area by delivering the highest standard of professional home inspection services. We aim to empower our clients, enabling them to make informed decisions about their most significant investment. We will always provide an extremely customer-centric approach and plan to leverage our reputation in the community to outshine our competitors. CGC Home Inspections. Bring certainty to your sanctuary. Products and services. There are three main services offered. General residential is the typical service and what is generally required during a home purchase. It covers all main areas of the home. It is typically around $450. There is some variable pricing based on square footage, number of bedrooms, that kind of stuff, which we can get into a little later. It takes about 2.5 hours. The 4-point inspection covers the 4 major systems of the house: roof, electric, plumbing, and HVAC. It is $100 typically and takes about an hour. Next, we have wind mitigation, which is pretty self-explanatory and is an inspection that gauges how well your home is protected against wind. This is a good way to reduce your home insurance premium. It is also good to know how well your home will fare during hurricane season. Software. To the right, you will see a sample report. It goes section by section, such as exterior, kitchen, bedrooms 1 and 2. It is extremely easy to read and does not require the customer to have an advanced knowledge of plumbing, construction, or carpentry. It has the added benefit of being able to add pictures and video so that the buyer, seller, real estate agent, insurance carrier, or even any contractors who are hired to fix these issues can easily see the problem areas. As you can see in here, it kind of separates it section by section. Unfortunately, due to its size, I was unable to include the full sample report, but on the left-hand column, there will be a section by section area where you can click and jump to the area you're looking for, and then it has subsections within the section. So it'll be like kitchen and then sink, refrigerator, and then kind of down the list, which is really helpful. One of the main selling points for CGC home inspection services, obviously it's not part of the software, but the bottom bullet point there is that it will be available within 24 hours. That's typically our guarantee to kind of help reassure the home buyer. It can seem like things are on a time crunch sometimes with that kind of stuff, especially if you're looking at multiple houses. So that is something that we will strive to complete. And as far as payment, it will not be, the report will not be released until the payment is received, and therefore there will be no credit available. Marketing plan. So initially, we'll hire a marketing firm to set up and maintain search engine optimization, social media, and blogs. The costs associated with setup and maintenance are on the following slide. The goal of this online internet marketing presence is to be redirected to our website, which will have a scheduling function. This will be extremely helpful and cut down the need for administrative time and costs, ideally. As our reputation grows, we plan to leverage our reputation into additional word-of-mouth marketing. Promotional budget. The top table shows startup costs, and the bottom table would be reoccurring costs. So the total for the initial startup cost would be about $5,000, including the SEO, website, and social/blog. I don't think I went into the blog as much in the previous slide. So the goal would be if someone Googles a question about home inspections, home sales, even some types of like construction, carpentry, etc. questions, it would have a helpful article on the topic and then redirect to our website, which again has a scheduling feature on it, which will hopefully recruit new business. On the bottom table, it shows recurring costs for the same cost, but what they would cost to maintain at a monthly premium for the SEO website socials blog, which would total out to about $850 per month or $10,200 annually thereafter. So most of the expense would be for startup. It's about half of that, or double that for annual. Positioning niche. So pricing will typically fall in the mid-range of what's available in the area. A lot of companies employ some form of variable pricing based on the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, distance, that kind of stuff. So we won't be typically competing directly on price, but more on quality. This is a service industry, and CGC Home Inspections wants to build relationships based on trust and respect. Like I mentioned previously, it'll be a customer-centric approach, kind of building and nurturing that trust, and then hopefully that'll lead to additional word of mouth marketing. This is the full breakdown of all startup expenses. So we have legal and accounting fees. They're calculated for the payment for the first year, whereas the advertising, as you can see, is the $5,000 as mentioned in the previous slide, just for the startup costs. You can get any kind of mid-range tablet, especially now during Black Friday sales and that kind of stuff, for about $250. This will be kind of helpful in the actual home inspection, so that the inspector, or myself in this case, would take the tablet to the job site or to the home and be able to start working on the report while they're at the house. That way it's kind of very fresh, and obviously it'll have a camera on it for pictures. Next, we have the software, which I detailed a little bit previously. It's about $500. I put $50 in gas just to kind of fill up, and then most of the reserved capital for contingencies I allowed for in there was also for gas or any kind of like travel expenses. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be hotels or anything like that. It's all going to be in the Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Jensen, Stewart, maybe even Palm City area. But typically anything further than that, wouldn't really be very cost effective, except maybe early on to kind of, drum up some business. Next, we have the break-even analysis. There would be one variable cost, like I mentioned, would be, gas or any cost of traveling. But that is a little bit difficult to forecast, as you're not sure where kind of jobs are going to be coming for initially. I mean, obviously the advertising is going to be targeted, in the Port St. Lucie area, but you never know. It could be 2 blocks away, it could be 5 miles, it could be traffic, that kind of stuff. Gas prices can change, something can happen with the car, so I didn't really have a good confident basis to estimate any of those kind of costs. So I left it blank for now, and the plan would be to kind of just document it and monitor it, month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year, and that we can get a more accurate forecast, as time progresses. Then we have the $10,200 for 1 year of the recurring costs of the marketing budget, not including the startup on that one, as that would, ideally already be paid for. And then ongoing insurance would be 1,800 to 1,800. No. 1,826. I think that extra 2 is a typo. Legal environment. So for this, I combine legal environment and production. The organizational structure is going to be very flat. Primarily, it'll be a one-person operation, myself, doing the home inspections, providing the reports, scheduling, all that kind of stuff. So therefore, sole proprietorship is the obvious choice. As far as legal environment, the company will need to be both licensed and insured, and certification will be granted by NACHI, or the National Association of Certified Home Inspectors. The goal would be, down the line, to hire some kind of administrative assistant or office manager to help with answering phone calls, maybe some light bookkeeping, that kind of stuff. And then if business grows to the point where it's unmanageable for me to handle myself, we will hire on additional inspectors. there is a decent amount of them who don't want to really have the risk of having their own company or LLC or something like that and come to work for other established companies. So, down the line, if there is the need for it or the work available and the money in the budget at that point to hire on additional home inspectors, that is something that we would consider. Financial projection year one, and this is 2024. I utilized a mix of information available from realtor websites to kind of identify different trends in home buying, home building, home selling, that kind of stuff, to have a more accurate idea of month by month. I also started lower in quarter one as the ads start to get rolled out, and there won't be as much word of mouth marketing, available at that time. Um, and then it's the same kind of cost of goods breakdown annually here as mentioned previously. And then year two, I went a little bit higher, about 50% increase, somewhere around that. I know it's a little bit ambitious, but some of the videos that we watched indicated that have don't do a best and worst, basically do the best, forecast the best, and see what that would look like, which is helpful, I think. um, so that is where these numbers came on. Additionally, as far as pricing mentioned before, when I was kind of coming up with the sales or the revenue, um, I did kind of account for, a lot of people will add, let's say the general residential is 450 and then the wind mitigation is 100. That would typically add up to 550. But in a circumstance like this, sometimes they'll do, like I mentioned, variable pricing um, based on square footage, bedroom, that kind of stuff. And then the other thing that a lot of home inspection companies do is actually um, add additional services for less than advertised, since basically the fixed costs already covered, already accounted for. So the add-on is basically all profit at that point. The cost is the acquiring of the leads, and then travel time. So if you can do 75 for the wind mitigation, it might help with the upsell, and really it's just extra at that point. So, and then lastly, we have the references. These are all the ones I used. The InterNACHI website, sample inspection reports, the housing market data for Port St. Lucie, and I consulted with a friend who is in digital marketing. So that's where all those prices came from. Brianna Thomas. That is all. Thank you.